You have to follow them.
You have to follow them, and you have to, kind of support them.
Exactly.
So that's why they can't be separate.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking back my story, I'm just saying that that's very unique. So I was born in 1950.
1950.
1950 to 1958.
Okay.
Almost 10 years, but 8 years.
Yes.
So that's our Tibet and the monastery and our, the family members and keeping their old tradition and almost like the ancient Tibetan style.
Yeah.
So I'm from a nomad family.
Okay.
So they have animals. They live in the tents. They would call Mongol gear, like that. So Mongol gear, do you know?
Yeah.
It's our tents.
Yes.
So we live in that. I was born.
So you were born in that, right?
Yes.
I think you said
then
that.
2 years old, they find me as a reincarnation.
Yes.
And I went to a monastery.
I read that.
I grew up in monastery.
Wow.
So until 1958.
1958.
So 1958, everything's totally changed.
Yes.
The life is upside down.
Wow.
So that's called the Great Leap Forward. So the Great Leap Forward means like you have to change everything. You have to go ahead and do something.
Okay.
So that means for religion they call religious reform.
I see.
So that's whole monastery shut down and the monks, the head of monks like a priest or the lamas or high lamas or all the rest.
Wow.
So they all went to jail. I was so-called highly tempered before.
Okay.
However, that time my assistant, my teacher, my own tutor, and everyone went to jail. Then myself, I was 8 years
So you were
old.
in jail?
No.
Oh.
They
went to jail.
They went to jail.
Okay.
So nobody's taking care of me.
You, right.
So then I was sent to a Chinese school. Then I became a Chinese student.
Okay.
So then until the early 60s. So then the 60s, I had a big famine in China, so we don't have food to eat.
I read about that. When the
that's
meat,
horrible.
I remember when
Yes.
nobody had meat and
You're
you guys.
wonderful.
Yeah.
You read everything.
I was
so.
like, well, it was like I was going to ask you about that. How no people were dying and there were no food, and then you went someplace and somebody gave you guys some food, some meat, and you went, oh wow,
Yeah.
That's
You remember
amazing
that's the
story.
details.
Oh,
That's very
well,
interesting.
because
Yes,
I thought, wow, and then you came back and your brother, So those are survivor skills.
Yes,
you have to be able to survive.
So that's a very difficult times in our life that time. Everywhere, not just in Tibet, all over the world, all over China, all over China. No food, nothing to eat, and we just eating green grass. The soup, the so-called soup, before the soup, very light, we have a little bit of flour there. Even later, we don't have flowers, just the soup, water, boiled water, then put some green grasses, then just drink that. And then people dying. And,
I read that. That was so sad.
Very difficult. Anyway.
Well, you know what that made me thought about as I was reading that? Because of what's happening in our whole economy and different changes.
Yes.
And I pray that those days won't be like that again.
No, because I'm writing this book. One of the purpose is recall the history and the story.
Yes.
That's not for hatred.
Yes.
Not for the confrontation.
Yes.
So that's for understanding.
Understanding, not to forget.
Everyone have to remember.
Yes.
Everybody can't forget those things. So that is very important.
Yes.
So we should prevent everything.
Things like
Don't that's happen again.
So
that's the reason I'm writing that.
And that's why you're here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about bringing the holiness. The holiness has appointed you now to
Yes.
to be an important part
Yeah,
here
yeah.
in Bloomington. Why Bloomington, Indiana, though?
Bloomington, actually, that's lots of people asking this kind of question. So, His Holiness' older brother, he was a professor in IU. When he retired, he settled down the center here. So that's why the Bloomington have his center. So, however, then he had the health condition and the sick. So that's why I can't run the center. Then His Holiness asked me to run the center. So that's why I can't.
So you run in the center
Yes,
right now.
now I'm
What
running
a,
the
this
center.
is well, the people are blessed to have you because you bring this tremendous struggle and challenges you face all your life, and you're going to help to educate. So, what are your goals? What are your plans for the center?
The goal is the center located in Bloomington, Indiana. So that the center should, serve the society and the people, so then can benefit people. So then actually our center now is kind of doing that kind of thing. In Bloomington, we have a Buddhist Tibetan center, Tibetan Mongolian Buddhist center here. So the visitor center knew our that's name and everything, the city and everywhere. We also have interfaith program. Every church, every religion, we always
so people come together,
get together and saying prayers for the world peace and doing some kind of summer camp and so on. So that's why people knew us. So that's the reason we can serve people. People come to us. Also, we can benefit. Of course, we're rely upon the people. Have to be supported by the people. But also we can give some kind of a gift to the society and the people. So then that's the reason our goal also like that in the future. Maybe we can serve some kind of studies. Like the Learning Institute. Then summertime we always provide the summer camps. So for the kids, they camp like that kind of thing. Then also culture, we are Mongolians. So the Mongolians, the ethnic group still in the U.S. So their kids grow up, they should learn their language. So we have a summer camp for them. Also we had the Tibetan summer camp in the future. In the past we had it, so in the future we're still planning so the Tibetans, Mongolians can come here and remember their culture and study. Like that. Those are, then top of that, so of course we're having teachings and the studies, retreats and everything.
So you have retreats, you have studies, maintaining the culture of the people. This is like a blessing to just to be able to sit here with Your Honor, and share what his story. Again, let me put up a note for his book. This is like an amazing book, and I tell everybody to get up and read it. If you're going through whatever you're going through, whatever challenge you face in your life, this will help you to get stronger because that's what it's all about. It's about crossing that challenge, whatever you're going, and finding out within. But for those who don't know what a Buddhist is, can you tell us in your own words?
Of course. Of course, Buddhist as a religion, Buddha, who is the founder, 2,500 years ago, he was born in India. Then he started teaching. That's called Buddhism. But when you look back to Buddhism, actually not only a religion, it's a philosophy. I mentioned before. So the religion maybe have some rules. Of course, Buddhists have a rule too, but that's religion can fit in every tradition. So the main thing we are emphasizing two things: the compassion and the wisdom. Compassion and wisdom. So those two things are very important. Compassion is our action. So the compassion is our action. Our action is non-violent compassion, action. So that's called compassion. No harms. If we can help others, we can do. However, we never hurts anyone. So that is our kind of a slogan.
Right.
That is our, one of the important purpose.
Right.
Then the wisdom means like equalism,
Yes.
like equanimity.
Yes.
So we always say, this is my friend.
Yes.
That was my enemy. So then when you look, all equal. There's no different enemy or friend. That's enemy and friend. Because your relationship is so close, then friend. Yeah. You have a distance, then you're strangers or enemy. So, but you looking close, then there's no such thing. That's why the equalism. So that's equal or equanimity from the wisdom. Wow. So once you have this wisdom, then everyone is equal. Once you have this equal, you will generate that inner peace in your mind. Because we can't bring the inner peace, so many things going on. So we hit this person, or we hit this one, or lots of hatred and anger. So that's not good for the inner peace. Once you have inner peace, then the world peace will one day will appear. So
that's beautiful.
That's a kind of our religion. I would like to explain.
So that's Buddhism in a nutshell. That's what you teach. It's about, like you said, that compassion within and so forth. Now, do you teach that yourself, or you?
Yes, of course. I practice that way, and I teach. Yes, and every Sunday, if I'm here, so I'm giving talks every Sunday. If some other teachers come, then they will give talks and the service like that. Yeah.
Well, I have interviewed and talked to many, many people, and a lot of people, but I have never felt so relaxed and
Thank you.
Peace.
Okay, good.
Sitting next to you, you made this such a breeze.
Okay.
And I could see why, because you live this. This is your life. You've been living. You've been trained like that your whole life, as your mother said. She had that vision. Now, is there anything you would like to? Anything you think I forgot? Anything and you like to add or share or leave us with? Anything else or?
I guess you covered everything. However, thank you. You're coming, and this is our center in Bloomington, Indiana. So I would like to invite everyone. Just feel free. Please come to our website to visit. Then furthermore, come to us and visit us. So we have a beautiful place, and you can stay. You can taste the Tibetan Mongolian food. Also, you can feel that's Tibetan Mongolian culture. Then also you can learn that's Buddhism, and really can practice compassion.
I don't even think I could add anything else. He said it so beautifully. And for all of those who haven't seen the center culture, please come down. Please come and visit. And thank you. Venerable Rinpoche, this was an honor just being here. I would like to give you this beautiful flower and to thank you so much. Can we get a hug?
Thank you. Yes, sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is the mandala of Akshobhya. And this is the mandala of Akshobhya, and he's one of the celestial Dhammi Buddhas, which represents the purification of anger and the purification of fear and aversion. And it's very powerful significance. But we made this, or the monks made this, excuse me, the Drepung Gomang monks made this. We had this made in May when His Holiness the Dalai Lama last came. This prayer wheel is solar powered. It's usually turning. I'm not sure why it's turning, but this is a mantra of compassion.